Well, hello everyone. Once again, those of you that were able to join us yesterday, hope you enjoyed a 747 day. The flights will be all trickling out to YouTube here during the week. Today's flight, we're going to take up an aircraft we haven't flown in a while, the Zibo. I think it's on par, maybe better than PMDG. That's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. By the way, once you buy X Plane, it's a free mod to the 737 that comes with it. And this mod can really knock your socks off for free. Really well done with the Zibo team. Just an amazing aircraft for free of all things. Can't imagine how much that PMDG would be at this price, plus the price of the sim, plus. And all you need is X-Plane 12 or X-Plane 11 if you can still find it, and Zibo. Not bad. Anyway, we are flying from Philadelphia. Yeah, Philly. And as I kind of put in the Discord post, bear with me a second as I bring that in front of my eyeballs. We're flying to a more prestigious Philly location than Philadelphia, otherwise known as we know Philly. We're going to Louisville. Well, yeah, that's where the Kentucky Derby's held. And oh, by the way, we get bonus points for flying there. So with the airline Virtual American. So why not? Let's go see. Well, the Kentucky Derby's already happened. Matter of fact, I think all three of them have they happened. I'm not certain yet, but yeah, they made this one of their event cities. So that's what we got planned today, and we're doing it in Zibo. I have been flying the Airbuses for quite a bit. Ran into a snag with it last time, not Tolus's fault, I don't think, but the ACARing system with the telex and all didn't fire off, and I'm sure it's what's called user error. Me typing on a keyboard probably caused the issue. So settle down, Tolus. Nothing wrong with the A321. So we thought we'd give the Zibo a try. Um, it's a fun aircraft. I love this plane. The fact that it's free makes it even that much better. And hope you all enjoy the flight. So now you're noticed the gate. Now normally we do not have the jetway to the plane. Reason being, the scenery we're in from Star Sims, which by the way, if I haven't said it enough in the last few days when we flew in and into Philly, and oh my gosh, what a treat this is. I mean, you have the rail, the road, the terminals, everything looks just right. We're in the tower view. For those curious, over there's UPS. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So, what a plane. There's another angle of it. The terminal is just so well done. Hang on, let me try something here. Even inside looks pretty good. Now, it's not like the Nimbus where you got people walking around in circles. But I mean, it is got the waiting areas. I don't even think, yeah, the jetway tubes. I don't know if this is how they are or not, where you come down to get out. But anyway, just phenomenal what Star Sims has done. So check them out. The scenery is available. I'm trying to remember how it was worded. KPHL, I believe. Okay, let's try. There it is. And that'll get you the scenery if you want to look at it. So, but again, just priceless. To me, it's worth the price. St. Louis is just as good. For some reason, though, I'm getting a lot of white, and I don't know if that's because maybe it's not meshing well with 2.0 possibilities. I don't know. But overall, just really good scenery. So, and somewhere we've picked up rain here, and I don't know why. I'm not seeing it on radars in the area. You know what? Let me check. Hang on. Discord's going bonkers on me. Hang on. All right, we'll just do that. Let me just check a METAR real quick. Yeah, even the METARs aren't showing rain, so I don't know why we're getting rain painted here, but we are. To prove it, I'll let you even see. Let's see, that, and there's currently what we got or within the last few hours. Yeah, it just doesn't show up right, so I don't get it. It doesn't matter. We're going to fly here regardless. So, again, Philadelphia to Louisville, Kentucky. Let's go fly with Mike. What do you say? And I am a little remiss. I just noticed a message. Okay, we'll get in here and get the FMC up and going. My, cantankerous little plane today. All right, May 15th, June 11th, good. We're at Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Oh, sorry, wrong song. Okay, let's go to the next page. What I do is get the GPS coordinates. Now, I use the left one on odd days, the right one on even days. It's just to mix it up. And, you know, oddly enough, I seem to fly a lot of one certain day. But anyway, here we go. Put that up there. Put, where are you? SDF for Louisville. However you want to pronounce it. There you have it. All right, but we're going to hold right here. Let's get the basics set up and get this plane ready to rock and roll out of here. How do you think about that? Okay, we're aligned. Click it to P. All right, do a quick check there. That's reset. We're on navs. Okay, everything's looking good. Coming on down, do a crossfeed check real quick. Basically, with this check, you're just looking to see that the lights go light blue when you have it engaged. When you have it off, it's off. And everything looks good here. Down here, everything's looking good, as is down here. Head over here. All right, let's go to airside services, something I'm not sure if PMDG does or not. All right, we're going to stop right here. Why? I want you to be able to confirm to me that is the flight plan we have today. So to do that, let's go to Sim Toolkit. There's our lovely flight from Philadelphia. Right there, over to Louisville, right there. Okay, loadout. 151 peeps, so far so good. 8,300 pounds of cargo, so far so good. And block fuel 1580, all looking good. Cost index, well, we can't see that, of 48, 36,000. 7 left, taking off to the west. Love those departures. And landing 17 left. Let me look at that real quick, see if I need to make a change. No, that should be fine. So, and then, yeah, we'll stay over there. It's a little bit of a long taxi, but, you know, life will go on. All right. Weather real quick. Notice we don't have any ATC. Okay, as of 14:54, which is okay, over an hour and okay, so it's not updated yet here. Actually, we've got the 15. It's been a while. 15 is pretty much the same. Broken sky at 3,800. Still no mention of this rain. So, but anyway, there's our weather here, weather where we're going. Beautiful in Louisville. Winds 104, 10-mile visibility. Beautiful. There are some scattered showers, possibly thunder showers in the area. Hopefully nothing like London, Kentucky got the same day St. Louis got walloped. Okay, update on St. Louis for those that heard me yesterday. I said an E4 hit it. EF3 is now what the national. They're saying 150-mile-an-hour winds. I thought that was F4, but no. Today I read it is an F3 that hit them, and it hit them. Wow. Things are still closed from that Friday night storm. That was pretty nasty. And then London, Kentucky, if you haven't heard, they really got walloped. So that tornado, that thunderstorm went a pretty good distance. So dumping tornadoes left and right. Anyway, that was then. This is today. My prayers are out, though, for all of you that have been affected by the tornadoes. I mean, Mother Nature can be a real bear, and she showed her ugly side Friday. So, all right, we're on VATSIM. We're in gate Bravo 5. Let's get to flying. All right, so with all of this information correct, I'm going to one more double check. Where am I? Oh, I know where I am. All right, so 15,000, 1580. Oh boy, I don't know. You think that 1 pound of fuel is going to kill us? I don't know, man. Ugh. 151 peeps, that checks out. 8,305 pounds of cargo. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Activate it. Now, when you would have activated this at a normal gate where you use the J key, jetway key, to bring the gate in, the gate would have came on its own. But in this case, because StarSim still uses now an outdated program, it won't do that for you. Who'd have thought? And you can see it's not recognized here. It put the staircase up to it anyway. So if you don't mind, I am just going to call it a broken jetway. Get rid of it. How's that sound? All right, and then when the buses show up to load, there'll be another staircase put in the back. We may or may not see the fuel truck come in here in a minute. Oh, it's in already. Let me hit the... All right, so we are refueling. Cargo is going to be loading. There it is in the back and the front. We might even see the caterers real quick, and I mean we're going to just do one circle if we don't see them. So sad. But yeah, the catering truck will show up. It's a little different than the normal, but really well done, like I said. Okay, now, to get the passengers loading, we have to set the chime switch to on. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to wait for the fuel. At least get filled up on fuel, get the APU running, and all of that good stuff. Okay, let's move on though. So we've got our initialization and ref point in, probe heats off, anti-ice off. Currently, the electric hydraulic pumps are off. The engine pumps are showing on, but technically off because the engines are off. Go figure. Always love that. All fuel pumps are in the... I thought I turned them off. I was wrong. And trim air is on. Recirculating fans in the auto position. Engine bleeds in the on position. APU currently in the off position. Current altitude will be 36,000. And we are going to an airport 500 feet above sea level. And I feel like I missed something coming down here. Isolation valve open. All right, we should be getting close to a full tank of fuel, so to speak. About 91%. So once we do, we'll kick the APU over, let it do its thing, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, otherwise, let's get to work on the route info. All right, cool thing, if you have SimBrief, read or watch the video on how to connect or use SimBrief with ZIBO. Why? Because they've knocked some steps out for you to help you get the plane going quicker. For instance, click request. Give it a second. Perfect. Fuel truck's out of here. By the way, our fueler today was Captain Morgan. And then we're looking for activate, execute. Clear, clear, and done. Okay. If you don't mind, bear with me. We'll be back. Airplane's not going anywhere. Turn the left aft fuel pump on. Next, turn the APU to on. Then hold the start for about 3 to 4 seconds. Give it a few, and you'll see it's starting to spool up. Okay. Does some checks, low oil pressure. I wonder why it's not running. Imagine that. And there she goes. And it's opening the flap for the air to get into the turbine. Okay, once it gets back down somewhere between 5 and 4 here, we'll see the blue light off, and then we'll turn the generator, the bleed on, move the AC/DC switch over. All right, APU has settled down. Boom, boom. Okay, now we're on, our power source is internal. Our air is now internal. And this is the information coming out of it. Okay, so we're looking good here. We can disconnect, which it won't do here, but we can come over here, click Home, Ground Services, Disconnect. And we're all set lighting. Okay, again, the hint, if you want to start boarding now, you can, might actually, but I want to get back to the route. Okay. All right, so like I said, if you have this connected to SimBrief, and you followed the videos and their little manual on how to get this together, you click flight plan request, it puts in all of your flight information up to your performance, and we'll get to that in a moment. However, I go in, I'm bringing charts in with me. Hang on, as soon as I find what I'm looking for, and get rid of Sim Toolkit. Dummy me. Okay, well, not going to work out as great as I thought it would. Anyway, we'll do the best we can. All right, today's departure, as we look at it. Well, we're going to MXE. I do not believe in all, I remember there being one, but there is one available. So let's look. Philly 3, Sure, let's do it. But are we going to have it over here? Oh, we are. Okay. 27 left's our runway. Okay. Philly 3. Okay. Execute. Back to route. Next page. So now we're going to do the Philly 3. Let's go to legs. A lot easier. All right, so we're going to fly out. Hang on a second. All right, Philly 3 calls for us on 27 left or the 9s. You can go either way with it. Climb assigned altitude. Top altitude here is 5,000. And then we make our turn when they vector us to go direct MXE, then on to PENSY. Okay, pretty simple. Now we're just going to kind of make sure we don't see any discontinuities. To D-lamp. Here's the D-lamp coming in off of UKATS. So we're flying down. We're going to go over here to Ohigi eventually and grab one of the 17s. Okay. Again, I'm going to go in. We're going, which runway? 17 left. Lexi. Okay, I'm just looking down. Niebuhr, Spooky, over BB, Maya, OG, Lexi, Blam will be checking in here. Select. ILS, add to route. So we'll come off Lexi, Blam, Racer, Mork from Orc, Slugger, and to the runway. Perfect. And missed approach to the Louisville VOR. Perfect. Everything looks good there. All right. We can close that. Center us and pull back. There we go. Sorry about forgetting that last time. Now, I told you we're going to do this one more time. Go to perf, request. Now, it's not going to do like TOLUS, and TOLUS even doesn't do this. You actually have a takeoff calculator that you can use. Here you don't. All it's going to do is load this page. Okay, there's our fuel we loaded. There's our zero fuel weight. Now, would prudence be here to check it out? Yeah, I would. 126.6, 15.6, looks good. Cost index 48, yes. And our reserve for this flight today comes in at 4.6. Yeah, 4.6. That's 4,600 pounds of fuel we'll need. Uh, 36,000 looks good. Everything, you know what? I'm going to put that in just because that's the way I am. And everything else looks good down here. Now let's go to N1 limits. Here, we actually are going to have to decide what we're going to use. Sim Toolkit. Why? Because it makes it real easy to show off what we're doing here. This is where we're putting in what we think our takeoff, well, what dispatch is called our takeoff. View saved routes. flight plan. Okay, so here's our flight plan. You can see it again. You have a couple of options here. You can use performance tools or you can use takeoff performance. Difference. With performance tools, let's click it. You'll see it right off the bat. You have to fill it all in. So you can't just go on the data you have. Kind of sucky, but you reap a map showing you where V1, V2, V rotate and all is. Okay. Pluses and minuses. So it's up to you. I don't go this way. I go here, the shortcut, if you will. It already does not have my airplane in it, but that's easy to find. There it is. There's our runway. Takeoff weight, that seems heavy. Hang on. That's because it is, and that's why I look. 141,954. All right, now that looks better. 141,954. Optimum flaps, optimum thrust, that's all good. Bleeds, optimum. Probably not going to be called upon for any of that dry. And calculate. So what you're getting here is all the same data. Oh, and one other little chunk of data. 90% of you all do not go to page 2 on your takeoff ref page, so you don't care anyway. But those of us that do go to that page, and I could be overshooting that 90%, okay? I get it. Many of you are realistic, but a lot of you could care less. You get your runway slope there, or you can get it right here in Sim Toolkit. But here's all your data. Here's what we're going to be looking at. All right, we're going to go out of here, take off 2 and a select temp of 43. Okay, take off 2, 43. Give it a second. It'll populate which climb over here. You're on climb 2 just because that's overshadowing it. Now go to takeoff. Click your CG. Now, for those of you that don't know or don't care about this page, grab a cup of coffee. Those of you that do, enter the runway wind. It's really not that complicated. 314. Runway slope. Now remember, I told you you can get it from Sim Toolkit. Okay, so let's close this. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Come up here to full flight log. Here's Philadelphia. Runway heading 267. We'll need that. Here is our slope. It'll be positive without any sign, obviously negative with a sign. Positive being upslope, negative being downslope. Round up if it's close. In this case, we're close, up 0.1. So it's U 0.1. Heading, just said it, didn't I? 267. Whoops. Sorry about that. So we click the line select there. Do we have a dry, wet, or contaminated runway? According to what we're getting, no. But it was raining outside. Your call on that. And that page is done. Go back to next page. And now we can continue on, and those that don't care about this page know where we're at. Enter the flaps, which was 5. Now, let me bring Sim Toolkit back one more time. sim brief. All right, so there's our 5 for our flaps. Here's our V speeds. Now, you can see the QRH. That's what the system was calling. So, let's see, the system right now is going 140, 140, 144. Sim tool or sim, whoop, oop, oop, oop. Sorry, folks, I hit the wrong button. Sim toolkit or a sim brief 150, 153, 159. These are to improve our climb. And just so you know, Philadelphia has 12,000 feet of runway for us. I'm going to go with their numbers. How's that sound? So 150, stand by. And I just got to get it pulled back up. 153. $159. And then you can select off for the QRH. There you have it. We're ready to go. Now, if you don't mind, again, remember the hint. I'm going to go ahead, start the boarding. Make sure I see one at least. Or passengers boarding. There we go. All right, let's get the middle set up. Okay. So flight directors can come on. Auto throttle will remain off till we're nearing the runway. Fuel reset. Indicated. All right, so we're going to go out of here at 159 plus 10. Two, 6, 4. And since we do not, double check, no ATC, we're going to go all the way for 36,000. Okay, top half is set up. Fuel flow we've already done. Minimums. Okay, I'm just getting some pages set up here, so I'm ready to go on my end. And of course, get the obligatory ACARS system running. Okay, and I think all right, we're ready to go. American 678 is in stand Bravo 5. We'll push back. I'll kind of give you an idea what we got planned while we're waiting the door to be closed behind us. Again, the weather. Hour and 6 minutes old. This is not good. I don't know why these big airports take their sweet time in updating. 6 minutes ago, it was 310 at 17, gusts to 21. Still really no mention of wetness. This is the arrival. This is the departure. Oh, okay. I was going to say, what? 9 right. 27 left is the departure runway. Okay. And that doesn't matter if VATSIM's up or not. That's the real ATIS being broadcast over the air right now. Okay. There's MXE. So you can see kind of what we're going to do, drop up, then go. Okay. Basically, once I get things stabled on that, then I'll probably go direct MXE and let it do its thing. All right. Pretty simple. We're up to 39%. But anyway, our game plan today is push back into the alley here, then out to, see, we're going 27 left, so let's go here, and then we'll taxi November, Papa 2, out S1, okay? That'll be our departure, and we'll deal with the arrival at the appropriate time. It's the bus. So again, hope you enjoy this flight like you did the 747s yesterday. We had a great time. Still 2983. Hey, 9 minutes ago. So we finally got an update broken. 4,000, still 2983. And it's 21 degrees outside. We're getting there. But I hope you all enjoy. We're ready for pushback when they're ready. Be right back. All right, sorry for that interruption. I heard our granddaughter having fun, and I'm like, and I'm not. I better get in there and find out what I'm missing. So, welcome aboard. All right, let's go here. Someone at the door? Oh. So, and here's the granddaughter as we speak, a little ground delay here as she treasure chest. All right. She is in the treasure chest of my stuff on my desk. All right, let's get to work here. That's what we're here for. Let's get to work. All right. Everything but the chocks are taken care of. We're ready to go. System B on. Beacon on. Seatbelts are on. APUs on. Auto throttle stays off. Okay, here we go. Better push back. All right, y'all ready to go? Let's go fly. Philadelphia traffic, American 678, pushing back out of stand Bravo 5 out to Juliet, where we'll start engines. Roger, cleared to start, engine 2. Okay, fuel pumps on. A little better look at Philadelphia. Really, again, Star Sims did a great job on the airport. Same with St. Louis. There could be some compatibility issue right now, but that'll get worked out, I hope. It's not that badly priced, so I'm not overly upset. I will be upset if I have to pull it. St. Louis is just looks like a snowstorm localized right there in the property lines of it. And all right, we're going to go ahead. All right, we're going to go ahead, crank up number 1. Anywhere between 17 and 25, you can engage the fuel levers.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
Okay, and we're waiting for them to pull away. In the meantime, well, right now I can't. I have to wait for them to pull the pins. So basically, if you just wait till you see the truck, in real life, you know everybody's away from the plane. And then thumbs up, you're good to go. We'll be turning CISA on. We can turn the gen on, though.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Okay, there goes the tug. Okay, thumbs up. We can go on. Let's hit say. All right. Okay, fuel pumps are on. We're on Gen 1. Probe heat's coming on. Anti-ice packs on. APU bleeds off. We are ready. Okay. Taxi lights turn off. Let's go ahead, hit this. And get our engines over to constraints, or to continues, sorry. I think we're ready to taxi. Let's do it. And Philadelphia traffic, American 678, taxi to runway 27 left. Okay. Landing lights, we'll get them, extend, lower, ECAM. Only thing we did not do, okay, let's look out 27 right, make sure we're clear. Looks clear to me. Roger, clear for takeoff. Philadelphia traffic, American 678 departing 27 left. Philadelphia 3 departure. Okay. It's going to do it for me. Cool.
V1, rotate. Positive rate. $400. 1,000.
Okay, we're airborne, headed to Modena, then on course. Okay, we're airborne, just finding out why I'm not showing. Okay, we're coming up on 10,000 feet. There's 10,000. Let's get those lights off.
You can sign up at aa.com/joins to earn miles for today's flight and continue earning miles with our retail and travel partners.
Okay, 5 minutes in, and we're through 11,000 feet. I hope you're enjoying this flight. We're headed to Louisville, slugger country. So I actually delivered a couple loads right by Louisville Slugger there in Louisville. Didn't even realize it till for some stupid reason I looked up at the building next to me or a couple away or wherever it actually was and went, I'll be doggone, there's Louisville Slugger. The people that make the bats. I about fell out of my chair. I guess I should have realized Louisville is where they're made, but I figured another state or another city had that title. So that was kind of neat to see. The things you got to see when you drove was pretty fun. So let me get the timer up here or the overlay. And we can watch what it takes to get to Louisville through. So I hope your weekend went well and your week is starting off pretty decent. Hope everything is well with you. Of course, all I can report here is more rain on top of rain that's been on top of rain. So, yeah. Anyway, so it'll be a fun day. We're headed to Louisville and hope you all enjoy the flight. For those of you going, well, it's about time you got in a 737. It's a neat airplane. I like the airplane itself, but it's just not like an Airbus. I like flying the Airbuses more. Even though I got to pay for them, they just fly a lot better. And in my opinion, again, I know many of you would say, well, you would say that. I'm like, well, then come on up and do some flying with us. Prove me wrong, but the A3 1920s and 21s are so easy. The toughest part is the McDo, but boy, that doesn't take much to learn. It's a real easy, really nearly automated plane to fly. It's just amazing. So, anyway, we're in the 737-800 and heading on over to Louisville, Kentucky. All right, we are getting up there, folks. 31,000. We're passing some traffic going. Let's see, where were they headed? One's headed to Stewart, north of New York City. One's following behind. Oh, that's us. Huh. And yet another one coming out of JFK for DFW. So quite a little bit of action here as we clear out of the northeast headed to Louisville. Got a nice, really doesn't look bad at all. Little shower between Cincy and Louisville, but beyond that, that's about it. So I hope you enjoy the music. Hope you can unwind as let's take a look. We got an aircraft out here. See if we can see it. There it is. Hang on, let me see if I can kind of... If you look out off the right wing there, you'll see a little streak contrail. That's the crossing traffic ahead of us, well out of our way now. And we've got something of a 777 coming up behind us. And other than that, we've got a great flight for Louisville. Planning ILS runway 17 left as we top out here. All right, let's see what we can do here. I just typed in exclamation fun facts just for some fun to see what we've got for a fun fact today. Did you know cats have fewer toes on their back paws? Not a cat lover, so obviously I wouldn't know. Install dog. No, seriously, that's cruel. I know. No, seriously. But yeah, cats have fewer toes on their back paws. Didn't know they called them toes, but I guess, you know, it is what it is. So, there you go, cat lovers. Learned one more thing about your feline partner in crime, Mr. Cat. Or Miss Kitty. Okay, we got about an hour to go and we'll be in Louisville. Enjoy the rest, enjoy the music, and may your week be a blessed week indeed. Wanted to see if anything, oh my, is starting to spring up around St. Louis. Hang on. Why does it not stay on? Now, why won't that stay? Anyway, here's St. Louis, which again got hit by an EF3 tornado a couple days ago. Some showers are showing up on our side of the river here, but a bigger batch starting to form north of us, between us and Chicago. There was talk that tonight, later tonight, we could have some storms rumble through, and tomorrow. So, and I don't know if they meant that as tonight, tomorrow morning. So, interesting. Okay, I just wanted to take a look. All right, so let's get rid of Sim Toolkit here. And realize we are about an hour out of San Diego. Ooh, we definitely made a wrong turn in Oh, we're headed to Louisville instead of San Diego. And should be there in about an hour. And again, like I said earlier, hope your weekend went well. Here it went not too bad from what I've heard. The Art on the Square did find a few miles away from the house, and some of the festivals went off fairly well without too much hassle out of the weather, unless stuff was going on in St. Louis. We're getting more and more reports of, wow, the tornado that came through at times was over a mile wide through the city. So North City, not downtown. And these are impoverished areas where people, have family homes. I mean, and I don't mean today, I mean generational family homes. Been around in these homes for generations, struggling like all of us, but struggling even more in a impoverished, crime-ridden area, and they just got walloped. Boy, prayers go out for North St. Louis on that. Not only did they have to worry about bullets, boy, they had a mile-wide tornado coming through. And I like the one weatherman man we watched here. There are so many myths that come with tornadoes. Like the bluffs will bust them up. No, not really. It just doesn't happen, folks. The rivers will bust them up. No. If anything, it could add a slight amount of fuel to it. Watch in the wintertime how showers start coming through, and we start talking river enhancement to the snow showers. So if anything, a little enhancement could come from the river. And of course, my favorite, the arch effect. If y'all aren't familiar with St. Louis, the Gateway Arch, it's a beautiful structure. Just an arch, 635 feet up in the air, and as high as 635 feet. And people believe that'll disrupt weather, or make weather, or change weather, or whatever. No. There are, it is, I get where they're coming from. I actually really do. But it's not the arch. So it's the heat island. So, that the cities build during the day with the sun. But anyway, just massive destruction up there. Thankfully, as I've heard so far, we here in St. Louis did not have any lives lost that I've heard. Not to say that I go out seek it on the news, but good thing I don't believe we've had any loss of life here. Not sure. I think something like 30 people out of this outbreak or close to it have died. I know London, Kentucky got really hit hard. And my fear is that's where some fatalities were. Yeah, Friday was a wild day indeed. So, and if you're one of those recovering from a tornado over this past week, or literally over this year, I mean, we have had, oh my gosh, well, we had one just north of our house, going, touching down, picking up, touching down, different vortices and all. And just north, I mean, we're talking quarter mile tops. And pushed heavy winds up against one business, took out a couple farms, crossed the interstate about 2-3 miles from us, and did a lot of damage to the livestock. Oh. So, it's just been one of those years with tornadoes. Kind of, but not reminiscent of 2011. I think that's when the Joplin tornado hit, when we had a record number of tornadoes throughout the country. It was unbelievable. So it's been a pretty rough year so far here in the U.S. And not to say everywhere else you've all had your weather issues. I saw heavy flooding in Europe. I forget the country, and other places. So, I mean, springtime in the Northern Hemisphere can be wacky. And just think, and I don't mean this on anyone, hurricane season starts at the end of the month. So we will all endure what the weather will give us. Okay, we got about 200 miles to top a descent. Gonna try. All right, in this Louisville, boy, I just want to say San Diego so bad. Louisville, as of 1656, a little over an hour ago, 1503. Scattered 12,000, overcast 17,000, 10-mile visibility. So pretty decent weather. Staring us down there. All right, there you go. Good screenshots for y'all. Let me just kind of work it around. Okay, we just crossed over into Ohio and making a little run here to UKATS and entering the Lamp 8 arrival into Louisville. Y'all are welcome to come up, join us. Columbus would be a good place to come up. Cleveland, headed down to Louisville. Nice, easy flight. We're on VATSIM for this flight, and we were for one of yesterday's flights. The other, still a little wishy-washy on. So, FMC is calling us about 180 miles out of top of descent. All right, all right, all right. Let's take a look at this arrival real quick here. We're coming in D-Lamp 8 RNAV approach off UKATS. You know, our fun fact of the day was cats have less toes on the back feet than they do the front feet, roughly. Kind of interesting. But anyway, UKATS. We'll start in kind of looking at this. It's an RNAV arrival, which works fine with the 737-800. Oh wait, auto ATC advises descend. Go figure. D-Lamp 8 arrival, Cincinnati altimeter. That's nice to know, because we'll still be above it by then. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a big, huge fan of auto ATC. Just never have been. It just gets me all the time. But anyway, we just need radar required. This is only for jet aircraft, and landing north, runway 35 transition, landing south, 17 left transition. And runway assignments come in via approach. All right, that's kind of nice to know, so you don't go to center if approach is up already. Hey, what can we plan into Louisville? Talk to approach. Read the chart. No. Anyway, so routing is from Ankar. Okay, so we got to get to Ankar first. Coming in UKATS, we'll fly to Shirt to Ziti. Now, Ziti needs us at between 23,000 and 21,000. So I've kind of guesstimating out, if you take the zeros off, just minus 36, minus 21, that's roughly 15, times 3 is 45, give or take 10, add 10 to 20 to it. So if we start down at Shirt, we should be in the ballpark at Ziti. Now, what we did yesterday, we had a great approach into Frankfurt. We got down to 24, and we could take our time from there, and then stair step down to 11, and then work our way down. This is a lot different approach. This isn't Frankfurt, Germany. This is Louisville, Kentucky. So we'll go ahead after we cross Ziti, continue to 17, and then we'll kind of we only have 11 miles to D-Lamp, and that's 16 to 14,000. I always try to err on the lower number, only because it helps me get to that OHIJ at 6,000 and 210. I'm also always paying attention for speed restrictions. Okay, so we're going to be getting down around Mia OHIJ, somewhere there at about 6,000 feet. Then we head for the 17 left approach at 6,000 feet and begin our run on 17 left. Okay, pretty decent run. Here's what 17 left looks like. Okay, across the top are frequencies we could encounter, but we'll have to set 1195 for our localizer. Also, we'll have to set in our course 170. We'll go ahead and put that in now. And at Slugger, which is about 7.5 miles out, 2,500 foot MSL, equates out to 2,000 feet. Okay, minimums for today are decision, altitude, and height. Altitude is MSL, height is above ground. Another little tip, What's in parentheses is above ground level. That is what your METARs read. So when you're looking up your weather and it says broken 6006, well, that's 600 feet above the ground. In this case, you would be, if you were going as that being MSL, it'd be 100 feet above the ground. Not good. We go above the ground level on those cloud heights. So, and you really find this out when you go into places like Bogota. If it was to say 006, 600 feet, and you're going into an airport 8,000 feet above sea level, where are the clouds at? 600 feet above the ground. So you see where that comes in. It's hard sometimes to understand that in the flatter country out here. But you get out into the mountains, say Denver, like I said, Bogota, you get into the Alps, more into the Andes and higher elevations. It makes more sense real quick. Anyway, spent too much time there. Missed approach is next. We just climb over to Louisville VOR hold at 3,000 feet. And if need be, we can climb while in the hold. Again, we're coming over Lexi, 6,000, no faster than 210. Now, you could do 180 if you wanted. And just so you know, it's roughly 17, 18 miles from the runway. Okay, so 6,000, you'll probably be meeting up glide slope pretty quick if you haven't already. All right, we just crossed UKATS. We're headed to Shirt, which means close to top of descent. Let's finish this off. We're coming in Lexi, Blam, Racer, Mork, Slugger, Kelly. Kelly is not depicted in our FMS. Slugger is our final approach fix. And again, 2,500 feet, fully established, meaning gear down, flaps full. You're set to land if you're in the soup. If you're not, there's a little more wiggle room, but a lot of pilots do like to be fully slowed up and readied if ATC will allow. You got to realize usually these airports have a couple more planes behind you. And VATSIM, we don't. So, all right, so today we're going to probably have an approach speed of about 140. So about 2.5, call it 2 minutes, 37 seconds from Slugger to our missed approach point. If we don't see the runway, click go around and off we go. Pappies will be on the left and we have a Mauser for the approach lights. Okay, we're wing walking a little too much here now. Okay, and then finally our minimums. Again, 200 AGL, half-mile visibility, or an RVR of 18. Okay, and then if you start losing touchdown lights or center line lights, there's your new one. The next one over is if you lose approach lighting systems, then we go even higher. Because remember, you're coming down, you gotta see the runway or the approach lights, preferably the approach lights, so you can come in a little further. Once on the ground, I have no idea where we park here. I'll be totally honest. Let me see if I can do a quick look up. Even though I know we don't. We'll head for 18. Bravo 18. You know what? Maybe 19. 19 looks like a little better for our wing. All right, and that's our game plan. Unfortunately, we do not have the telex system to get our gate information in this aircraft. I have yet been told we don't. Maybe it's there and I just don't know how to retrieve it. All right, well, we are getting close. Top of descent is here. Let's take a look quickly at the checklist. Okay, we'll descend using altitude intervene, continues, fasten your seatbelts and landing lights. Okay, we're at that point. All right, let's hope y'all are ready for this. If you want, now's a good time to start thinking about a prediction. And we'll see how we do. Now, there's a couple of ways you can start a descent here. Obviously, the easiest one is set your altitude for what you want to descend to and wait for top of descent. However, what if ATC told you right now descend to 21,000? Two things you can do here. Okay, if you have climb cruise descent here, just click descent. If it says VNAV, click VNAV and next page to put you on the same page. First, go to forecast. Double check your transition level if you're outside the US, and do a request for winds. If SimBrief has winds for us, it'll populate them. If it doesn't, it will tell us after the word load. Looks like we will have winds. Okay, so there's our descent winds. Go back to descent. So you can go one of two ways, like I said here. I'm sorry, one of three. Again, the obvious, wait for top of descent with your altitude set, and you can start your descent when top of descent is reached. If they want you to descend early, now you have two options. You can, one, click altitude intervene right up here by 21,000 you see on my screen. INTV, altitude intervene, or down here, descent on the FMC, you'll see descent now. Either one will put you into descent. How you confirm that, you'll see the descent bar on your nav display. So give it a few seconds here. I like to get about 30-ish miles out and then start in. So again, we have about from Shirt to what's it called? Zidhigh. We have about 67 miles. So plenty of time to get the plane down. I'm just going to start us down nice and gentle. I've got the seatbelt sign on because air is a little rough here. And I'm just going to get it in between the line here and then hit descent now. Or you could hit altitude intervene. Either way works. Of course, if you want the ultimate, hit VS, set your vertical speed. But if you want the aircraft to manage it down, intervene or descend now. And we're going to go ahead at about 60 out of ZID high. We'll start in. All right, let's do it. And there's your descent, RMP, AMP, actual, and that R is, oh, I can't. Anyway, your actual navigation data or navigation percentage, which means how close to accurate are you, and RMP is, oh, I can't remember. Anyway, slipping off my tongue. May 60 years old be better to you memory-wise than sometimes it is for me. And now you can see how gentle the descent is. Normally, if we were in smooth air, I'd keep it seatbelts off, but we've been kind of tossed. So, taking that into account, put them in their seats with their seatbelts, one less step to do. And you can see it's starting to get a little rough out there, so a little bit of some weather showers probably. Maybe that line of showers we saw earlier. I don't know. Don't know what it's picking up, but it's picking something up. All right, we're inbound for Louisville. And as if you haven't been able to tell, I forgot to switch us back to Unicom. $124.2.
ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we are descending. Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
5,000 feet, stabilized, missed approach altitude set.
All right, welcome to Louisville. Nice flight indeed. I can't tell if I was muted or not there for the landing. We're taxiing into the gate, and I see an American waiting for us there. To the left side of the aircraft, that is all of UPS's world port. Pretty big. Kind of amazing just how huge that is. But you know, FedEx is still bigger, and that's mind-boggling. Oh, somebody's in on the channel. What up there, Mr. Duluth?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm flying from Vegas to no, other way around, Minneapolis to Vegas.
Ooh. Nice
Yes,
little
sir.
haul.
Yeah. You know, funny story happened to me on the way to Vegas. We almost didn't make it. I've tried with the Sparky, and for some reason I crashed on takeoff. Right. Well, I wasn't deterred, so I tried the SSG, and the SSG for whatever reason wouldn't give me any forward propulsion. So I said, well, I'm bound to determine to fly to somewhere to the west to the west coast. So we decided to fly. I decided to fly from Minneapolis to Vegas.
Well, very cool.
Yeah. But anyway, I didn't mean to start coming and stomp on your parade. I
Oh,
saw you in here. And
well, I enjoy hearing that. I'm still debating about trying Sparky again myself.
yeah, I don't
It
know
was
what's
a
wrong with the
great
Sparky.
program.
It was a good program. It is just a good plane, but I don't know. Maybe it was just I don't know. Can't tell you. But and just to let you know, I'm not promoting my stream. I'm not telling anybody to come over here. But I'm a YouTubing it right now. And Leaf in the Wind, also known as a Bazoo Leaf, says hello.
Azul, huh? Well, hello,
Yeah.
Azul.
Yes, or Leaf in the Wind, as he calls himself on here.
Leaf in the wind, huh?
Yes, sir. So where are you flying to today? Let's see. Where are you going to today?
We just arrived in Louisville.
Nice.
I actually
And
don't think I've flown passenger in here. I've flown a lot of cargo.
Yeah. What bird did you fly today?
The American TWA.
Oh, there you go.
Zibo.
Oh, the Zibo.
The Zibo.
The Zibo. That's strange. It's funny. I'm not flying this. I'm not flying for one of our VAs. I'm just flying off the cuff because I have to work at 4:30. Just in case at the end, right? But
yes, yeah. Azul TWA. The merger colors. All right, let's get this thing shut down.
Yeah, we were gonna fly the Iron Maiden Ed Force One 747-400, but never made it off the ground.
Huh.
Yep.
All right, let me click. Systems look good. We're ready to shut them down.
Well, Mike, I'll escape back to my Discord. I just wanted to say hi to you. Saw you in here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you enjoy the rest of your stream, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Have a good day, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duluth Fly. Check him out.
Bye. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Azul Leaf in the Wind is in here as well. Yes, TWA. We are off. And So now you saw how it really works. Unfortunately, with the Philly scenery and the SAM stuff, you don't get the full effect of what ZIBO does. That was all done without me hitting the jetway key and all. Very cool what they've done over at it is the Zibo, and really a cool thing. So it's unloading as we speak. I saw another 737 taxiing out for American. Where art thou headed? DFW. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. I see a lot of action headed, well, always headed down there. What am I saying? But anyway, there it is, folks. The Zibo 737-915 November. American Airlines with their prize they bought in 2001 TWA. Only to themselves be bought out by US Air, who was actually bought out by America West. So American is technically under new ownership. Yeah, gotta love it. Especially if you're a TWA man like I am from here. Love to see that company get bought out. But so, oh yeah, they took a real bad hit. All right, let's see how we did with the airline. 279, we'll take it. File it. And we're off the map. And I just want to see what kind of points we got since this was an event city airport. All right, Pyreps, here we go. All right, 440 points. Like seeing that. Okay. Perfect. Love it. Thank you, American, for the points. Okay, so again, welcome to Louisville, home. Of course, those who may not know, UPS has a gigantic hub here. Sort of, kind of, maybe comparable to the super hub in Memphis for FedEx, but I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong. So I don't think, matter of fact, I know it's not as big as Memphis. So, all right, hang on, delete. Okay, let's take a look and see how we did with our flight trackers. The Airline 279. First one we'll use, Elevatech, should be out here soon, if not already, for the public. There we are, and completing the flight. They also got us at 279, 138 knots, not bad. And weather-wise, looks pretty comparable. Not sure the weather here is recorded accurately, but they can only go by what they're given, so I get it. Okay, now the one we like to go by, and that is Sim Toolkit. There is, I don't think, a better tracker or teacher out there to help you understand where you hit the runway, how you hit it, and all that good stuff, and the numbers to back it up. Okay, looking at Sim Toolkit, 457 feet a minute. That does not surprise me. 9 out of 10 times they're really hard on us. Rarely do they err for the pilot. Okay, there's our flight. Pretty much as predicted. Okay, this is what you get from most flight trackers. You don't learn anything from this. Almost 2-hour flight at 500 miles, 400 or 4,200 kilograms. And there's our metrics for landing. Although we're going to go deeper. Where did we touch down? Okay. Well, at least we're on the right runway. That sometimes does not happen. But where the blue dot is, that's your threshold. So you're supposed to land past that. All right, it's a 500 foot per hash. So 1,000 foot's the aiming point. That's where you visually try to touch down. Now, a lot of factors from speed, the aircraft weight, winds will dictate float, which is what we did a little bit to get her on the ground. But if you look at it, we're still well within the landing area. That's the last set of hashes. So we're definitely good there. We're only almost 1,800 feet down the runway. That is not bad. 9 feet off the center line. Could have done a little better. But, you know, hey, in this situation, hey, it's not a bad deal. Again, give you a quick look. UPS does have a rather large presence. So, anyway, and then we landed, taxi back. I think we're like right here. All right, but then here's your numbers. It was an 8,500 foot runway, 150 feet wide. Okay, that's cool to know. Heading was off by almost 2 degrees, compensating for the wind. There's your pitch. And I did have to kick that wing down a little bit right before touchdown just to get us closer to the center line. And there's the rest of it. I really think that's a little inflated, but the data ref they go off of, that's what it said. All right, so really, really good flight again. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up. Yeah, we're not going to have time to put a second flight in. I was really hoping to. I'm going to save that. I have a really cool idea. Sounds like, oh, I thought the jetway was going to pull away. So I had a cool plan, but again, it all dictates on when, you know, I'm able to get that first flight going. So we'll save that one. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to pull it off this week before Friday. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed. This was a very fun flight. Very fun indeed, I must say. I had a blast on it. And flying for American Virtual, if you're looking for an airline that will challenge you a little, because they're going to operate a little more realistically than many of you expect. By that, I mean aircraft engines, aircraft in general. If it, you know, what it calls for has to fly. Tail numbers, the whole 9 yards. They don't drill in that you got to fly the tail number that flew that flight. No, but you got to fly one that is an actual American Airlines aircraft in that aircraft body. So for instance, we're flying 9/15 November. This was the TWA merger plane. And I think may still fly today, but I've also seen pictures of it as an American Airlines only livery. So, and they take that into account, especially if you want to fly the America West heritage plane, PSA, Allegheny. I'm kind of curious when they're going to flip to where those have to be A321s like the real airline did. That's what I mean by where they get into the aircraft. Do they care about my winglets? I don't think they even know. I don't think there's a way for them to know that mine look like that, other than if they watch my stream. So, all right. Well, I see the men in black driving around my plane. Do we have Mr. Escoban on board? And if so, are they here to pick him up? If you flew Zibo, you'd know that language. So we're going to call it what it was, a great flight, great day in the air like yesterday. And I really hope y'all enjoy the week. Hope it's a better one than last. And I hope you wish you best. And, today I had a devotion that kind of went and coincided with the verse of the day. It's actually an interesting look. And it's basically when work is, or life, or traffic, or whatever is really wearing you out. If you look to it and give thanks to God, over the course of, it's not going to be a snap of the fingers and everything snaps into place. No, but your personal look at the issue will soften. The issue may not soften. Remember, when the Israelites cried out, how are we supposed to get across the Red Sea? God didn't remove the sea. He gave them a way through the sea. Okay, he doesn't remove the stumbling blocks in front of us, but he parts a way for us to get there. And sometimes it might just be softening you up by your thanksgiving to God. By thanking him. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for the fact that you just might want to say, I'm still above ground and breathing, and I just took another breath, thank God, and praise him. You'll find yourself becoming softened to the issue at hand. Maybe it may not go away, but you yourself see it softening. This is interesting devotion today on YouVersion. So I thank them every day for that. And I thank God for the verses and devotions like that do stumble through my inbox. And I hope they help you when I relay them to you. So you all have a fantastic Monday and the rest of your week. As of right now, there are no scheduled streams until Friday, possibly Thursday night, but usually I'm too wore out from work to do that. But Friday, we should be able to put something in the air. So I hope you all enjoy your week. Azul Leaf, you have a fantastic week. And if you're flying, a great flight. And we'll see you all on the next stream. God bless you all. We'll see you then.